Hi.
Hi.
We just thought we would wrap up our trip finally.
Yeah.
We are home now. Been home for a couple of days
Mm-hmm.
and finally starting to feel a little bit better. And we thought we would give a synopsis to what happened to the rest of the trip.
Yeah. In the beginning, embarkation. We were one of the early groups to get on the boat in Fort Lauderdale. And huge lines packed with people standing, shuffling. Even after we checked in, you had to go sit in the lounge for a while until they called your group and everything.
Yeah.
And she said that the rest of our friends who came in a later time, just what?
They just breezed right on.
Yeah.
I would suggest going a couple hours later, maybe an hour later.
Yeah.
Because they just walked on, and you've got your room already set up and everything. It's not going to be a first come first serve thing. You've got your seat.
One silly little thing. You got your luggage tag printed out to take to your room, have your number and everything. And then you're supposed to staple it on the thing. Well, who travels with a stapler? I left the swing line at home. So the guy checking in the bag started the day, go, hey, you got a stapler? He goes, yeah. I had to go dig it out. It's like, wouldn't you have that right in your hand there, you know? So I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, you would think they would be prepared for their own.
You'd think that guy'd have a stapler like clipped right to his belt. The boat was nice, a trip down. We stopped in Cartagena, Colombia. Took the hop-on, hop-off bus into town to see the old town. Interesting place. The bus also looped up through the new town, which is built out on a peninsula out to the side of it. The tour guides that I checked with said, you've seen downtown Miami, you've seen, the new town of Cartagena. The cool part is the old town. So we did take the hop-on, hop-off bus. $39 each for that. Kind of spendy for a hop-on, hop-off bus, whatever, but we found out later, we took the bus there, got off at the very first stop, started with this walking tour, which was not very good, so we dropped out of the walking tour, had to sign that we were checking out. Started walking our own, hopped on the bus a few more times to take us around a little bit of the loop. Could have just walked it easily, it'd probably been more fun, more pleasant. Met a Canadian couple, we walked around with them for a while. It was time to go back, we went to the shuttle stop at Cartagena to catch the hop-on, hop-off bus shuttle to take us back to the port. We're standing there and some of the locals say, it's going to be another half hour for that bus. $10 taxi ride for all four of you together. We'll get you back to the boat right now in air-conditioned comfort. So we opted for that. So my recommendation, if you're doing go check out the old town of Cartagena, get off the boat, walk to the tourist center there at the parking lot, catch a $10 cab into town, walk around to your heart's content, have all the fun. Catch a $10 cab back. Much
definitely.
easier.
It would have been so much better.
Yeah.
A lot less hassle. We would have had a lot more time to tour if we hadn't been waiting for the bus all the time.
So.
And the bus dropped us off at some weird places too, where we had to run across
5 lanes of traffic.
Yeah, busy highway traffic, and it was pretty sketchy. So I didn't think much of that hop-on bus either.
The downtown stops were McDonald's, Hilton Hotel, and they highly recommended you get off at the casino. I'm quite sure of that.
Yes.
I'm sure they had to roll the red carpet out the casino door for you there. So, if you've seen a McDonald's, you've seen a Hilton, you've been in a casino, you could probably skip the old town, or the new town, excuse me. Old town was great.
Yeah.
After that, it was off to Panama Canal locks.
And it was fabulous going through those locks. It was really neat. And this was still while we were doing the videos. So if you missed those videos, go back and look. It was really neat going through those Panama canals.
Some of the guidebooks and stuff I read said, you need to be in a small ship to go through the old locks, which were built parallel to the new locks, which are much bigger that we went through. I think they're both amazing experiences. I can see the nostalgia maybe and watching the cute little trains, guide you through the old locks, but the new locks were a neat event, wonderful scenery. You cruise through the same part of the lake up there on top of the hill, seeing your huge ocean liner going through these tight little channels and passages in this freshwater lake in Panama was really very cool.
Yeah, it was well worth it. Yeah. I don't feel bad about not going through the old locks at all.
Yeah.
And it was great. You can see the old locks over there.
Sure. We went through the locks. We got to go through them at daylight, especially descending back down to sea level. In the evening light was really beautiful, the soft light and everything like that. The next day morning, we were docked at Puerto Amador, a little town over there by Panama. And that's where we took the bus tour over and brought the train back. Interesting narrow gauge train ride, a good tour of the visitor center out by the new locks. So that was a good time. We had a whole bunch of friends with us. It was really wonderful.
It was fun.
Yeah.
After that, Costa Rica.
Yeah. And that's where we went ziplining.
Ziplining.
Yeah.
Which turned out to be way more fun than I thought it was going to be.
She had never ziplined before.
So again, we've got that all on video.
Thousands of skydives, scared of heights.
And maybe at the end of this video, I'll put some more footage that he took on his GoPro. So stay tuned for that. But that was a fun tour.
Really good time. Beautiful country, beautiful scenery up there. They had a butterfly enclosure you could go into that was wonderful. A little bit of eco touring through the jungle and stuff. There was some jungle walks, a little botany lessons. So yeah, really good time.
Right after that,
that was the last day we
started feeling bad, and and after that, I tried to keep up the content, but it was really hard being just in that little cabin with no windows, and we just didn't feel that great.
The tour bus back from the ziplining, there were people on there that were hacking up lungs and sneezing and stuff.
Most people were sick on that bus.
By the time I got back to the boat,
my mask,
I tested positive for COVID. You did the next day too. Called the medical. They said stay in your cabin for the next 3 days, 3.5 days.
Which we did.
Which we did. We were very good. 4 walls, no windows, lots of room service, luckily.
Yeah, and the room service turned out to be pretty good.
Yeah.
We had hot meals that happened right away. Even if you ordered a drink, your drinks got there very fast.
Yeah.
And
well, this might be a good time to talk about a couple of things we were going to say. The little medallions that you wear around your neck or on a wristwatch or something. I really enjoyed those because when you walk up to your room, the door unlocks when you're 10 feet away automatically. You can go right in. You don't have to pull a card out and swipe or anything like that. When you walk up to any one of the bars or food services that you need to pay a little bit extra for, they have a computer screen, shows up with your face on there, and they go, "Oh, Mr. Mitchell, what would you like?" And they just charge you that way.
Yeah.
So very
when
convenient.
the bars got a little bit crowded, it was noisy for one thing, and I think not everybody that was working at the bar, English wasn't their first language always. So a lot of times you'd hear, "What was your room number? What was your room number? Could you repeat your room number for me?"
Because if you look on their screen, they have like 9, 10 faces on there.
Yeah, and it was easier for them, it seemed, to just put in our room number than to look us up by our face. And after a while, it got to be, for me anyway, as a woman, it was a little uncomfortable yelling my room number and then having everybody hear where I'm staying. So I just put my room number on a pad and held it up to them from my phone. This is my room number, and they'd all go, "Oh, thanks for that."
They like that, yeah.
They did like that a lot.
And I'm going to say too, the staff was really good, especially, they get the upper echelon officers. We didn't interact with them, but all the people running the bars, the concessions, the cooks, things like that, were all wonderful people, working really hard, almost always had smiles on their faces. Hard. Yeah.
We ran into one waiter that was borderline grumpy, but we didn't.
Yeah, that's right. The barbecue guy. Yeah, he was different. He was different.
Yeah, we didn't go to
1 out of 100.
Yeah,
99% of them were good. The shows we went to see, like in the Princess Theater.
Yeah.
I attended some of the lectures on the Panama Canal. You were with your knitting group, but those were first rate. Big production shows, musicals and stuff. We saw 3 or 4 of those.
They were very good.
Yeah,
I liked them.
Yeah, the finale one was a little...
It really felt kind of put together.
High school talent show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the talent was definitely good.
Yeah, a little bit better than average. Yeah, our trip was kind of like first half up to Costa Rica, great time. Second half, sick, recovering, friends sick, quarantine, trying to work our way around that. That's probably a good time to bring up what we noticed. Our last cruises were in 2019 before COVID. We spent 3.5 weeks down in Australia, New Zealand. Norovirus is a big concern. A virus that's spread through hand contact. It's not killed by hand sanitizer. You got to wash your hands. They had washing stations at all the buffets and restaurants. People came in, they washed their hands. They had employees watching them to make sure you wash your hands. This time, nothing.
The hand washing stations are still there. And at the beginning of the trip, it seemed like they had an attendant standing by the hand washing stations, but they weren't enforcing people washing their hands, and most people were walking
right
on through. And towards the end of the trip, they didn't even have an attendant there.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't care.
We know that, if you're sick, you should mask up. There are obviously people on the boat that were sick.
Very sick.
Didn't see hardly anyone wearing a mask. Maybe one out of several hundred.
We were.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Really didn't want to get sick.
Even after we tested negative and we're out of quarantine, we still wore masks. We just wanted to make sure.
Well, I didn't want to get another thing on top of what I just had too.
Yeah.
I mean, and people were so sick on that boat.
Yeah.
Coughing and carrying
on the boat, on the tour buses, all these places where you're trapped with them. She says never eat at the buffet. I say if you want to eat at the buffet, wash your hands.
Well, when I saw that nobody was being made to wash their hands, and I kind of watched a few people go through the buffet and they'd be like coughing in the hands and then grab the utensils and dishing up. And then there were a lot of people too that were coughing and not even bothering to go like this or like this. They were just flat out coughing all over the food. And there wasn't a lot of sneeze guards over this food.
They had them, but they weren't real extensive.
They weren't really covering the food. I mean, they were kind of up here where,
short people were coughing all over our food.
The food was exposed to the coughing.
I say I would go in there, grab, mask up, wash up, grab some silverware, put it in my pocket, grab a plate, serve up. Then on the way out, I hit the hand sanitizer again on that hand that was using the utensils. You can go outside and eat in the fresh air. That worked for me. Or take it back to the room. You know me, I have a hard time passing up a good breakfast. So.
And I just wouldn't eat at the buffet. Just couldn't. I couldn't do it. After I saw what was going on, I just couldn't do it.
Near the tail end, we felt better. We were able to get off the boat in Puerto Vallarta, walked around a little bit. They had an old town that was a taxi right away, but we decided not to do that. We spent some time on the beach, hit the Walmart, like everybody. But it was very nice, wonderful beaches in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
Lazy day for us, still kind of feeling a little bit run down.
Kind of went back on the boat and just kind of relaxed.
Yeah, we enjoyed the hot tubs, enjoyed swimming in the pool, enjoyed the outdoor shows, watched the AFC playoff game, Kansas City Chiefs beating the Whatchamadoodles. How quickly we forget. So yeah, it was a lot of good times. Just really disappointing. People get sick, puts a big damp in your vacation. It happens. Luckily, we both have trip insurance, so if we get really sick, our bills are covered. If we have to be evacuated, something like that. Probably a smart idea.
Get trip insurance.
Maybe not in your 20s, but later years, yeah.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Oh, a silly little thing that happened to us. When we docked in LA, we needed a way to get the bus from the ship terminal to the airport. So they have a transfer in advance. And I had some questions. I kept saying, I don't see this on the thing. Yeah, it's on there. Even called Princess. Yeah, it's on there. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Day before the docking in LA, into the trip, we get our disembarkation thing. They got no record of us having bus transfers. I go down to the service desk. So I paid for it. Let me show you in the email. Here's my invoice from Costco. They go, we don't have a record of it. You can buy it again from us. So I had to repurchase. Somebody dropped the ball somewhere, and I thought that was kind of clumsy.
Pain. Yeah.
We did find out as we cleared customs, we're walking out to our bus, right at the doorway there, leaving customs. Private companies there offering $25 bus rides from the port to the LAX International Airport.
I wish we'd just done that.
Yeah, might have been better if I just didn't know, walk out there.
Grabbed an Uber or something. It probably would have been a lot cheaper.
And one friend pointed out that if you had carry-on luggage, they weren't really checking. You could just get on the bus and go to LAX Airport. They didn't really look for a ticket or anything like that.
Yeah, he says he paid for the ticket, walked on the bus. Nobody asked for the ticket. Nobody checked. Could have just walked on.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a minor thing. That's like first world problems. But when you buy something and you double check it, and triple check it, and it doesn't show up after all, you just go,
it's very disappointing.
What the heck am I doing?
Yeah. One thing we didn't talk about was the food on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to say the food was okay. I was actually really disappointed because we have had other cruises on Princess, and the food was so much better.
Yeah.
On those first 3 or 4 cruises that we've been on with them. So much better.
Yeah.
The food was okay.
It was adequate. It's
but it wasn't spectacular. It wasn't great.
Seemed kind of under-seasoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially in the dining room, most of the time you were eating it cold because it took so long to get the food to you. Yeah,
meal would take literally 2 hours, sometimes over that, to have, a 3-course, 4-course meal. I understand there's a lot of people, but really, when we were in the room, trapped by COVID, and we were ordering the same meals to our room, boom, everything would arrive at once, and we could sit down and
eat it, and it was hot.
Yeah.
Same with the drinks. Sometimes it would take forever to get a drink, even if you went to the bar to stand in line and get it. Or if you're sitting by the pool and somebody came and took an order, that's what it took the longest to get a drink.
The busy times, There were a lot of times where they were swamped.
It was. And, it's understandable. You have to queue up. But if you ordered a drink from the room, it was there right away.
Yeah.
Every time.
Made you want to just stay in your room, didn't it?
You could get your food right away. You could get your drinks right away from room service.
So the dining
it was disappointing, I would say, given the fact that it was so great before, and now after COVID, it was...
The range of the menu, everybody liked the French onion soup, though. That was good.
It always came hot. For some reason, the French onion soup always came hot.
Yeah.
Everything else, it was funny because the waiters would put the plate in front of you and go, oh, be careful, don't touch the plate, it was hot. And you'd touch it, and it was like, no, this plate is cold, and the food is cold.
Yeah. But I will say, none of our steaks were overcooked. Even the roast beef in the buffet was done to medium rare, so
it was cooked good. Although, for instance, the time I ordered the sirloin, it came and it was about 1/4 inch thick.
Oh yeah.
And it was nicely done, even still, which is a trick to do with that thin of a steak. But it was cold. And I've had better chuck steaks, honestly. It was gristly and chewy.
I don't know. I don't know if it came from the sirloin. I think it might be a chuck cut or something.
It was not a good, and it was cold.
Yeah.
It was.
So she let me eat the rest of it.
It was
win-win.
He'll eat anything. It was like inedible. But a lot of things were like that. It's like, oh, this is not really what I expected.
We did upgrade to the Plus package. Feel like a lot of things that used to be included or more reasonable, they just say, oh, upgrade to the Plus package.
And they just recently did that too. It wasn't until after we had paid for this cruise that they came along with those, Plus package and premium package and these restaurants are now not free. I kind of felt like I was a little bit bait and switched on this. Because I felt like I was buying this, and then we had all of this.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was being nickeled and dimed to death at the end.
Yeah. I don't know how their profit structure is right now, but it does, it feels like a lot of charges in there. And, some of the shore excursions, I'm sure they're making a hefty profit on that because you go $40 for a Colombian hop-on, hop-off bus. That's pretty spendy. Like I say, especially when a $10 taxi ride gets you to the same place.
Same thing.
But overall, it was great to catch up with our old friends and spend some time with them.
Like Princess fell down on the job as far as
trying to be
proactive and keep people sick.
Yeah.
I mean, the norovirus is still out there, the flu is still out there, the regular cold is still out there, as well as COVID. And I feel like they did a better job of protecting people on these cruises.
I think
back then, before COVID, and now that we've got COVID as well, they've just given up on it.
Yeah, it's almost
really given up.
It's almost as if making a lot of hygiene requirements is bad for business. Makes people think, oh, there's this, there's that, the other. There were a lot of sick people on the boat. Didn't hear one word about, hey, maybe mask up, maybe watching the crowds and stuff like that. So anyway, for better or worse.
Yeah, that's the end of the cruise.
It's all right.
That girl teaches skydiving, but this is scary to her. Woohoo! Oh, I made it. Slowing down. Woohoo! Two more? Excellent. Having a good time. Sure, sure. Oh, sure, sure. Yeah. Oh, ready to go? Woohoo! Oh! Coming in hot, baby. Oh, came in hot. You're smarter than that. Bye.